Giants here too. Joy is joining us, and of course, Alana, momentarily as we take you home with the baseball. Everybody plays tonight. Had some good games last night. Alana's going to handle the Yankees a little bit later on. The Yankees are a mess right now. They can't win. They struck out 17 times. I mean, maybe you take Rizzo out of the lineup for a couple days. He has done nothing. I know I love Rizzo, but he has done nothing for 2 months. I mean, and maybe you try to give him a couple days off. I don't know. But the Yankees are a disaster. We'll get to that a little later on. And they're playing themselves out of postseason play in 2023, which is really hard to believe with that payroll. But there you have it. I know Judge is out, but enough. They got to win some ball games. My God, the Angels have been terrible. But anyway, that's where we begin on this day. I'll save that for Alana, and I took a lot of it right off the bat. Save it for you here in a couple minutes. Let's start with something positive, and that's the Dodgers. The other team in Southern California, they're playing very, very well right now. They've won some series. They had a bad series in Kansas City about a week before the All-Star break. They got a break getting the Pirates, who have been awful since their 20-9 start. They won to beat Pittsburgh 3 out of 4, and then they beat the Angels, the aforementioned woebegone California ball club. They won 2 straight there. Went on the road, beat the Mets, and then they won a game last night. They were down 4-1 in this game. Horrendous pitching by Baker, the reliever, throwing a 3-2 slider to Jason Hayward to load the bases for Chris Taylor. I mean, Hayward can't hit. Throw him a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, put it right over the middle of the plate and see if he can hit it. I mean, geez, you're trying to get him to fish. Awful pitch selection there. There's no other way around it. You can't show him that much respect. And then, of course, you throw nothing but fastballs to Taylor, and he hits another grand slam, and the Dodgers are on their way. So give the Dodgers credit right now. They got their bullpen organized. They had that bad way there earlier in the year when they had that rough stretch in Cincinnati. So their bullpen has done an excellent job. You know they're going to probably hit. Obviously, Smith's a very good hitter. Betts and Freeman speak for themselves. J.D. Martinez, very, very dangerous. They can maneuver with everybody else. Muncy's got a bad batting average, but he gets on base, hits home runs, and he's healthy again. I mean, listen, the Dodgers are playing very well. Their bullpen is straightened out. They're starting. They got Arias back. Kershaw will come back. They got a couple of young kids who have done pretty well. Roberts knows what he's doing in a big situation. They have played successfully. The Diamondbacks have fallen off. The Dodgers and Giants, maybe at the end of the day. I mean, I don't think the Dodgers are winning 100 games, but the Dodgers will be in the 90s, and we'll see if the Giants can maintain that here down the road. But the Dodgers are playing very, very well right now. You know they're going to make a trade in the next couple of weeks with that wonderful farm system. Maybe they go get Giolito from the White Sox, who is on the market. Maybe the Dodgers go in that direction. They did that a couple of years ago with Scherzer, and maybe they go run there to get themselves a big starting pitcher. I would not be surprised. They give themselves a chance. Now, listen, the Braves are the best team in the NL, but the Dodgers are as dangerous as anybody. They can beat anybody in a short series. Freeman and Betts are wonderful players, so from that standpoint, the Dodgers will make a run at this. They were struggling for a long period of time. They have seemed to have found their way. This is a hard road trip for them to start the second half, to play at Citi Field against the Mets' good pitchers, at Baltimore, good team, and then at Texas this weekend. That is not that easy, and they have done an excellent job here so far in the first 4 navigating it. They certainly could have won the game on Sunday afternoon. They lost that game in extra innings. So the Dodgers have done a nice job. They've gotten their pitching straightened out. You know they're going to hit some, and their bullpen. Most importantly, Evan Phillips is good. They got themselves going there. So give the Dodgers credit. They're on a good run right now. They won a lot of series, not necessarily in a row, because they lost that 2 out of 3 in Kansas City. But other than that, for the last 8 to 10 series, they've been very consistent. So let's give the Dodgers some love as we begin the program here today. That's number 1. Number 2, let's give Texas some benefits to the doubt as well. Rangers were in big trouble at the end of the first half. Lost a series in Washington. Lost a series at Fenway Park. They lost in Tampa. The Angels walked in there and beat them 3 out of 4. They had really struggled. Obviously, no DeGrom. Big story by Verducci, our pal in Sports Illustrated this week on DeGrom, by the way. Out for the year. Pitching seemed to be worn out. They don't have a great bullpen. They struggled at Yankee Stadium. But the Rangers came back out of that second half and have won 4 in a row. They did it in tremendous Rangers fashion against the Guardians all weekend. They came from behind. They hit the ball wonderfully. They buried that Guardian bullpen. They won 3 straight. They win the game last night in a wild pitch with 2 outs in the 9th inning. And they hung in there when McClanahan was pitching. Nice job by them getting a win. They got Eovaldi tonight. Texas, of course, with Houston's going to have to concern themselves. Those 2 teams have separated from the American League West. But I thought Texas was on the brink of really being in some trouble before the second half started, and they seem to have righted the ship with their 4 wins in succession. Good homestand for them, too. Cleveland, Tampa, and the Dodgers to start half number 2. So we keep an eye on Texas. You know they're going to hit. They got a wonderful offensive team. They got guys who can hit 1 through 9. The manager is probably the best in baseball. Push comes to shove, you take him over anybody else with the 3 championships. And now he's in Texas and winning there. And, you know, you figure maybe they make a big move. They got plenty of money. And, you know, how about Max Scherzer to Texas? You know, I know that sounds crazy, but the Mets are going nowhere. You want to pay Scherzer $43 million when he's 40 next year and hope you get a little lucky that he stays healthy and he can pitch? I'm just throwing it out there. They need a big pitcher. We shall see what Texas does to find one in the next 10, 12 days. So that's number 2. Number 3, the Red Sox, who have done a nice job, too. And it's going to be very interesting to see what Boston does at the deadline. I don't think they really want to go out there and go crazy adding personnel. But the Red Sox, after being up and down, this is a team that got swept by the Pirates this year at home. This is a team that lost 4-6 in Fenway to the Reds before they were good, and the Rockies, for crying out loud. This is a team that had really struggled against Tampa, losing 7 of 8 games to the Rays. But the Red Sox, thanks to beating Toronto a million times, the Red Sox seem to have gotten their footing. They won a 3-game series. They swept the Blue Jays a couple weeks ago in Toronto. They won a good game on a Sunday afternoon coming from behind. They beat Texas 2 out of 3, killed the A's. Sometimes playing these teams at the right time can really gallivant you. And then they started the second half in Wrigley. The Cubs are bad. They beat them 2 out of 3, and then they went to Oakland and won last night. They're going to get a sale back, it appears. They pitched Pivetta in relief last night. He had 13 strikeouts. You know, Paxton, despite this weekend, has pitched very well for him. Bello, the young kid, is very good. He's a great manager. They can hit. The Red Sox are a game ahead of the Yankees right now. They're only a couple of games back in the wild card. They got a hard schedule. Red Sox have to play the Giants. The Red Sox have to play the Dodgers. The Red Sox got to play Houston twice. The Red Sox have to go play at Texas. So they got a hard schedule. But the Red Sox are putting themselves in, discussions for being in the mix here the last, say, 40, 50 games. And what Bloom does, and that franchise, you know, those fan bases, they're going to want to see somebody spend some money and bring some players in because they've been on the other side of it the last couple of years with Betts and Bogarts and everything else. They're going to want to see that franchise go out there and bring some. They need a pitcher. They have to get some pitching. You know, you don't know about Sale, the back of that rotation. They need a pitcher. Bullpen's okay, but they need a pitcher. We'll see if they do that, Boston. But they put themselves in contention. And remember, they get 2 more games with Oakland here this week, and the A's are the 62 Mets. So they might win the next 2 and really give themselves a little cushion. So there you go. Red Sox, Dodgers, and Texas are where we begin on a Tuesday show. And here is Alana to edify. Ms. Rizzo, take it away. The floor is yours.
All right, good morning. And because of the Red Sox win and the Yankees loss, the New York Yankees are last in the AL East in sole possession of last, Chris, for the first time since 1990. 33 years it has been since the New York Yankees find themselves in sole possession of the AL East as we sit here on July 18th. Circling back to the Dodgers for just a second, what I like about what happened there in the top of the 6th inning against the Baltimore Orioles, a team that is on fire right now and certainly should make the postseason, I hope they make the postseason, is what Jason Hayward and Chris Taylor were able to do against Brian Baker. Jason Hayward, I know you said throw him a fastball, he can't hit it. I still love the veteran presence that Jason Hayward gives you at the plate. It's a professional at bat, and he and Chris Taylor are both veteran hitters that are going to make you throw the correct pitch to them. Jason Hayward down 0-2 in the count against Brian Baker, who replaced Grayson Rodriguez as far as the starting pitcher was concerned. He gets his first 2 batters to fly out, but then Jason Hayward down 0-2 in the count is able to draw the walk to keep the inning alive. Same thing with Chris Taylor. Down 0-2 in the count, so Taylor is behind in the count, fouling pitches off, is able to finally capitalize, sends a ball over the fence for the grand slam to give the Dodgers the go-ahead lead, which ultimately ended up being the game-winning, the score to win the game 6-4 over the Orioles, breaking an 8-game win streak for the O's. I love the professional at-bats that CT has given you. Last year, 2022, he couldn't get anything going, was striking out a ton. He's still trying to find his way this year, but I love the quality AB that CT3, CT4 in this case has given you. But think about the Dodgers for just a second. I know people think I talk about them too much, although yesterday I was accused about not talking about the Dodgers enough. Think about what they've done this year. And again, I'm the first person to say they do not get a pass because of the payroll. Nobody feels sorry for the Los Angeles Dodgers, the New York Yankees, the Boston Red Sox. We get it. The New York Mets in this case. But the Dodgers have had 23 different players placed on the IL this season. That is the most in the major leagues. And I'm not just talking about position players. We know Gavin Lux has been done for the year. We know that these other guys have gone on the IL. But think about their starting rotation right now. Last night, they had a young kid on the hill by the name of Sheehan. I had barely heard of this kid before. They have Michael Grove in the rotation. They have all of these different young pitchers because Clayton Kershaw's on the IL. Noah Syndergaard's on the IL. Walker Buehler hasn't pitched at the big league level so far this season because of his surgery. They are decimated as far as the starting staff is concerned, as well as their position players, 23 on the IL. They're still getting the job done. They are starting to pull away, albeit a little bit. I realize it's only, 3 or 4 games into the second half of the season, but their Dodgers are doing it with what they have not had to deal with in the past, and that is a very depleted starting rotation, so good on them. The New York Yankees for a second. I know that Aaron Boone is absolutely getting torched by not intentionally walking Shohei Ohtani. You cannot intentionally walk Shohei Ohtani there. There's already a man on first. You're not going to intentionally walk Ohtani to put a man in scoring position. And not for nothing, let's think about for a second if he would have, in fact, decided to put up 4 fingers and intentionally walk Ohtani, who obviously is a tremendous player on both sides of the ball. Mickey Moniak was batting behind him, so he is Shohei's protection in the lineup. He's having a really good year, Chris, for the Angels. He's hitting .324 this season. He's also hitting .378 during a 9-game hitting streak. So if you walk Ohtani, he puts a runner into scoring position, as we've discussed, but Moniak is hitting .323 this year with runners in scoring position. And the pitcher that was on the hill at the time, Michael King, his Achilles heel has been facing guys with runners in scoring position. So I don't fault Aaron Boone one iota for not walking Shohei Ohtani in that situation. Of course, he's got, he's a guy that is always a threat at the plate, but it's not like Mickey Moniak behind him is a slouch, and it's not as if you're not putting a guy into scoring position. So the Yankees lose the game, but I still think Aaron Boone makes the right decision in that particular spot.
100%. You can't walk Ohtani there with man on first and 2 outs. I mean, what yo-yo fan is screaming about that? Boy, I know the fans, and that's what kills the Yankee fan, because they go on Twitter and they say stupid things. I don't mind getting on Boone occasionally. I'm okay with that, but I do it smartly. I mean, that's the dumbest thing, and that's a typical Yankee fan who doesn't know anything about the Bay, doesn't know what's going on, and they want to get on Boone. Now, listen. If I'm the Yankees right now, I mean, they can't hit Boone, Rizzo, and I love Rizzo. You've heard me here for 2 years about Rizzo. I'm a big Rizzo fan. How about a couple days off? I mean, he hasn't hit a home run in 42 games. He's hit 194.
I believe it's I think it's the longest stretch in the major leagues where a player has gone between home runs. Lee can correct me on that, but yeah, it's been a long drought for my brother Anthony Rizzo for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not playing for 3 or 4 days. I mean, can we do that? I mean, sometimes the Yankee issue with Boone, he throws the same guys out there day in and day out and hopes somebody hits a 3-run homer. I mean, that's, Stanton. He has a good series against Colorado, but he hits a home run and he strikes out the 3 other times at the plate. I watched every game in that series. Yankees are a very strange team, and now no Donaldson, which is not a huge loss the way he had been playing, but he's going to be out for the year too now. We've got that torn calf. The Yankees are a mess. I might be wrong about the Yankees, to both of us, as far as them being in the postseason.
They are a mess. And I want to correct myself really quick. It is the second longest homerless drought for Anthony Rizzo. It's been a long time. He's got to get things going. But yeah, maybe a blow for him. Sit him for a couple of days. Let him get his mentals right, as Marshawn Lynch likes to say.
And remember, the Yankees are 5-8 in the last stretch of games against the A's, the Cardinals, the Rockies, and now the Angels. Plus, they lost 2 out of 3 at home to the White Sox. The Yankees have played badly against these bad teams. We got a lot to still do.